Hello and welcome back. In the previous video, we explained the General tab of the quotation and how to create a new quotation by entering the basic information. In this video, we will explain the Program tab. To access this section, click on the Program tab. You will notice that the search panel on the left side has changed. This search panel is similar to the one used in the Routes section, which we explained earlier in this phase. It allows you to search and filter predefined routes before inserting them into the quotation program. For example, if we want to search for a predefined route in Amman, we can use the Advanced Search. From the Starting City filter, select Amman. The system will then display all routes that start in Amman. Let us assume that we want to select the route Amman Airport to Amman overnight. To insert this route into the program, click the green plus button to add a new route line. Then click on the arrow icon next to the route name in the search panel. The system will automatically insert the route with all of its predefined details into the program page. These details are pulled directly from the routes configuration we defined earlier in this phase. For example, the system will automatically import bus service, which will later affect the transportation pricing, guide service, which will affect the guide cost calculation, guide and driver accommodation settings, extra hours, if defined in the route, allowed kilometers and used kilometers. Once everything is correct, click Save. If you want to edit additional information for this route, click the folder icon. From here, you can add free text under the route name, which will appear later in the proposal. For example, Flight RJ101. You can also add additional free text under the route description, which will appear after the original predefined route description. For example, check-in assistance. You can also adjust the route start time, such as when the flight expects to arrive or when the tour is expected to start. In addition, you can adjust the guide service duration if needed. After completing the changes, click Save. There is another way to add routes manually. After clicking the green plus button, you can directly type the route name. For example, Amman Hotel to Madba to Mount Nebo to Karak to Petra Hotel. Make sure that all route information is entered correctly, then click Save. For the third day, we can enter Petra Hotel, Petra Visit, Amman Hotel overnight. Again, confirm that all information is correct, then click Save. For the last day, we can enter Amman Hotel, Amman Airport departure. After reviewing the information, click Save, and the program will now be fully structured. Once all routes are entered, let us quickly explain the columns displayed in the program table and where their values come from. The guide cost and guide accommodation columns represent the guide service cost and guide accommodation cost. These values are automatically imported from the Guide Rates page in the Rates module, which we explained earlier in Phase 3. You may notice that the guide daily cost and the accommodation cost may not exactly match the original guide rates, and this is normal. This happens because the system automatically converts the guide rates from the local currency into the currency selected in the General tab of the quotation, which in our example is USD. Therefore, the values displayed here are the converted values based on the exchange rate defined in the system. The driver accommodation column is used to indicate whether the route requires driver accommodation. If enabled, the system will calculate the driver accommodation cost based on the transportation company selected later in the Transportation tab. The Extra Hours column shows the additional service hours defined in the route configuration. These extra hours will later affect the transportation cost calculation based on the extra hour rate defined in the transportation company setup. The allowed kilometers are derived from the bus service assigned to the route. For example, an airport transfer service may allow 50 kilometers, which will be included in the base transportation cost. The used kilometers value comes from the route configuration. For example, if the route distance is 60 kilometers, the system will compare the allowed kilometers with the used kilometers. If the route exceeds the allowed limit, the system will automatically calculate the extra mileage cost, which will appear later in the transportation cost calculation in the Transportation tab. The three stacked circles icon is used to recalculate the rates. The folder icon, as we explained earlier, is used to add additional route information. What we just demonstrated is the manual method of building a program. However, there is also an automatic method. If you already have a predefined program with routes, you can simply import it. From the drop-down menu at the bottom, select a predefined program. For example, Jordan program, 4 days/3 nights. Then click Import. The system will automatically import all program routes with their details and pricing settings in one step. All you need to do afterward is review the information and make any necessary adjustments before continuing to the next tab. This completes the Program tab explanation. In the next video, we will explain the Transportation tab and how transportation company rates are calculated and connected to the program routes. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.